Always so delightful to me to hear from a person who stumbles upon the Sisters Enchanted and listens to the podcast, and then they end up being on the podcast. And that is what we are bringing to you today in this episode of Expedition to Soul. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast. Welcome to today's episode. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted. And today I am joined by the one, the only, Karin Purcell. Oh my gosh, now I'm saying it wrong. Purcell. Karin Purcell. Karin is a community member of ours and is a very active community member. I had the pleasure to meet you recently in person, Karin. And yeah, so hello, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for having me. This is hopefully going to be fun.
Hopefully, Karin. Karin, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell people a little bit about, who you are, how you got here. Who is Karin?
Well, first, I'm depending on how you want to. I am Karin. I've learned to put myself first instead of I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a lab tech. I'm looking to retire in the next 2 years. My situation started in 2018. I had cancer, had breast cancer. While I was going through my last chemo treatment, my son and his girlfriend, they were 18 and 20, or 20 and 18. They moved in. And then a month later, my niece and her 3-month-old moved in. And then I had my last radiation treatments after all these people were in my house. So I had it quite chaotic. That's when I needed to look elsewhere. I was Methodist growing up, but always through something else. I don't know. I don't really have a one religion. I had to call myself, I'm a Wiccan. I'm a witch, just like most of us in this group. And I needed to find my people, and listening to podcasts and reading books and all that. And I stumbled across your podcast, and that's how I entered the group. And the first thing I did the 5-day self-care, and then I did the Expedition Soul, and then it came to Holistic Witchery, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. That's half a Universal trip. I'm a Universal freak, by the way. We go 3-4 times a year, so that's a Universal trip. And I'm like, oh. And I asked my husband, and he just looked at me. He was like, what is wrong with you? You are worth well more than that. Just do it. Just do it. If it makes you happy, do it. So I did it. And first round through, I noticed a little bit of a change. Part of my problem was when I had my chemo, it threw me headfirst into menopause. So I had hot flashes for like a year straight, and I still get chemo brain and whatever you want to call it. And I don't have a rhythm anymore. And this course gave me a rhythm. The Dances with the Moons is the best thing ever for me. That has honestly changed my life, because I had no rhythm. I don't have a cycle anymore. I was just chaos. So now I know. New moon, you do this. Full moon, you do this. Even if you miss one. Okay, I missed the full moon this month because I had issues at work where I had to leave and go have grandma beach time. So I was not online. I did not do nothing for 4 or 5 days. So yeah, so I'm a little behind, but that's okay, because you can jump right in the quarter moon here. I did my new moon before my quarter moon. So that's what's so good about it. It gives you the rhythm. It gives you the tools. It gives you everything that you need to do what you need to do. The breaking point for us was my husband's an alcoholic, and he's 2 years sober now. But right after he came home with all the chaos in the house, he just snapped. He's like, today's the first day I wanted to drink, because my kids can't clean up after themselves. My niece leaves dishes back to the sink. So we had a talk. I screamed a little bit, but then we had a talk, and it did work. And that's what my thing for Holistic Witchery was, to have a harmonious home. And I do now. Everybody does their jobs. They know their part. My husband cooks. My son cleans. My niece attempts at cleaning the rest of the house type things, the bathrooms, whatever. We all try to take turns, but it's so much better than it was. I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells because I'm afraid of hurting someone's feelings or, yeah, that was a big thing too. So it just came to talking. I'm like, it's my house. They're going to listen to me or they're going to get out. And it took a long time for me to come to that and stop enabling and stop. Yeah, I had a lot of issues before starting this group, and you guys have come a long way. You guys have always been there to help me out. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Karin, I love hearing this because I have witnessed your journey over these past few years. And I think that it's been really interesting to see where, you use the tools that we give you in different ways, right? So like the ones that you've maybe had to come back to a few times, like like setting
Like tarot.
boundaries or on tarot, yes, but like setting boundaries and holding them. Also with tarot and the permission you've given yourself to know that you can do things, where at some point it was like, well, I'm not any good at this. I can't do it because of a reason. And then granting yourself the permission to just do it no matter how you are at it.
Correct. I do it because I want to do it, not because I have to. Like I've said this before, Exhibition Astrology is a wonderful course. It has so much material, but it has so much material that was the bane of my existence for so long. I did too much at once. Right after Holistic Witchery, I jumped into the mastermind. Then you guys weren't going to be doing Expedition Astrology for a while, so I jumped right into that. So I had like 4 things that I was trying to do, all TSE at the same time, and I was just like, I got to put something on the back burner. So once I did that and just concentrated on the other stuff, Holistic Witchery, I was like, quick this round. That was easy. Like it all just kind of clicked. It just took 2 times around. That's all.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that, the benefit is that the curriculum access, you don't lose access to it. So you can get into it when you're ready to get into it. But I think that it's also like the thing that you have capacity for is probably also just the thing that you need right now too,
Yes.
Yeah.
I will, with the 5 eyes, I took, I don't even remember what the test was, but the intention setting. I don't know how I do it because I am very intuitive, but I can't set an intention. I still can't set an intention. So this is something else where people don't feel. And again, I can set an intention. Shouldn't say I can't. I have problems making lists. Let's put it that way. Is that better? Is there a better way to say it?
That's a better.
I know I can, but it's just like an hour just trying to get something. I struggle with that. I still struggle with that. But then once I get it, it just goes. It just goes.
You can tell from this conversation that Karin has said those words to me before, that she can't set an intention because she changed her sentence right away.
I can.
Like, don't say that.
When Sarah first met me, she didn't know whether she should smack me or hug me.
No, I love it. Like what I love, Karin, is that like, the different pieces of it, like, so sometimes when I talk to people and I talk to students, they'll share just like all the things that they love, which is amazing. And of course I love that. And also what I love about your story is that everything with you has like not everything, different parts have taken a minute to click. But even as they've taken a minute to click, you've taken the parts that are useful for you all along the way. Mm-hmm. And you have worked on all of this stuff that was causing mass chaos in your life. That's all you've been applying it the whole time. So what I love is, you are in our expansion archetypes. You were a mapper. Now you're a wanderer. And that energy, the mapper wants to do it right, wants to know the path, wants to know where they're supposed to be. And then the wanderer, though, their self-worth is determined by how much they can do. And so I definitely see that in your energy where there's this element of you that wants to get it right and wants to know you're doing it right. And the beauty of this is that as a person witnessing you, you're using the things in your life. And like one of the things we talked about once was this idea of like softening on yourself and just and I've seen that with you where you are more like forgiving of yourself and more just like, man, I see what I did there.
On my own problem. Just get out of my way and I'll be fine.
But like 2 years ago when we met, that
Yes.
wasn't necessarily the case that I could say to you, Karin, like, what if you just soften into this? Because 2 years ago you would have been like, I can't because of X, Y, and Z, and all the things.
Yeah.
So I've loved witnessing you over the last few years for sure in your journey. What would you say? You mentioned that the moon brought rhythm back for you.
Mhm.
What is that? Is that your favorite lesson or part of holistic witchery, or like what is your favorite part?
I would say that was the most important thing for me because it did give me a rhythm back. But as much as I don't want to admit it, I have gotten a little more into tarot. I still haven't done your tarot course, and I need to because I still don't know how to do it intuitively. I've been just trying to work with the cards and I have a cheater deck, but for everybody else. And I still can't remember, I do remember cups emotions, and that's about it. That's my problem. My brain is CRS. Can't remember squat. So, and that's me. Like my short-term memory is like, I can remember stuff I did in 1960 or 1980, but I can't remember stuff I did today.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's part of my problem. So, but I need to learn really hard to it. But yeah, the divination, pendulum, dowsing, that was something I toyed with a long time ago. I'm very good with that. It's very intuitive for me. It does answer questions for me, and it has opened a lot for me. So I would have to say a lot of more of the divination tools have come through a lot more than I thought they would, because I really didn't think that I was going to have much. I still have issues with third eye. I'm very grounded, very, very grounded, and I'm a typical Taurus. You're not going to move me, but I'm moving. So it's good.
You
It's very
are.
good.
I think that is like whenever you're a person who, when you say things, you're always like, I love how you bring like, this is really how I'm feeling. And also this is what I'm seeing though, which sometimes
Not the same.
is not the same. But I love that you're just you and you just put it out there. Like, this is how I'm feeling about it. I feel like I can't do it and I'm not doing it, and it's just not working. And also though, I realize that I like doing divination.
It was just something I always thought I had a block because I don't have much of a third eye, and I thought you need the third eye to do but no, you really don't. It just comes through. You just have to find the right tool and keep trying for those listening, because it's been a few years, and like I said, I finally found I can do tarot. I'm not great at it. I can do astrology. I can do basics. And that's all I really want, because I just want to toy around for myself. I'm not going to be an astrologist. I'm not going to I just want to know it for me. And
Yeah.
like you said, I'm very blunt to the point. It's one thing I learned after cancer is time's too short. And I know you're very time intentional too. So I don't get very flowery. I'm pretty much straight to the point. There you have it.
I love it, Karin. All right.
Get on with your bad self.
Yes. Get on with your bad self.
I love that. Sorry.
If there was somebody who was on the fence about joining us in Holistic Witchery, what would you say to them?
Just do it. Just do it. If it's a money thing, it'll work itself out. It always does. I don't know how, but it always does. It will change your life in one way or another. Like I said, for me, I had no rhythm. I was just chaos all the time. And now I have something to follow. It just all clicked. And with all the other tools and information, oh my God, with all the energy centers, and you'll have it forever. So it's not like you have to learn it all in 3 months. That's what my biggest problem was. When I first joined, you get that, and you get Enchanted Journey, and I didn't know where to start. And it took me about a month just to figure out where everything was and what I was doing. So it's a little bit overwhelming at first, but it's amazing. It really is life changing. I know everybody says that, but it really is life changing. It does change. My outlook is so much different. I don't put myself last anymore. I'm number one. If I am not in a good mood, I'm not going to help anyone. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll try, but chances are it's not going to be very good. So, but I learned that, like you always said, the oxygen mask, help yourself first, and then you help the. It really is true, and this is one way to really help yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I was.
That's Karin. You're the best. Okay, we're gonna do a little round of this or that.
Okay.
Before we go, so that everybody listening can know exactly who you are based on the decisions you make here today. Like, these are the be all end all. I know. All right. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So which one, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
I knew that answer. Like I said, I got to hang out with you recently. All right. Are you a person who likes to read a book or listen to a book?
Read.
Do you like to be on the water or like in the land? Like
water.
the woods, water.
Or on the beach, kind of in between.
Yeah.
I don't like to be all the way in the water because there's like sharks and shit, you know.
Oh my gosh.
You can only be in so far.
I had a whole discussion recently with Anna about being on a boat and how being on a boat to me feels like the ultimate point of being trapped with nowhere to go.
My best friend growing up was the same way. Maybe that's why I'm kind of in between.
She's like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I don't know, but that's like, to me, the worst situation ever, to be out in the water and have nowhere to go.
So I take it you don't like to swim in the ocean either.
I don't like being on boats, which is like strange. Anyway, there you go. Now you know.
A little tad about you.
Take me on a boat. Yeah. All right. Spring or autumn?
Autumn.
All right. Here's the next one. Tarot cards or oracle cards?
Tarot.
See, we got you there. All right.
I don't know.
This one, tacos or pizza?
Pizza
all day, every day.
Yes.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
I'm kind of an afternoon person. I'm not a really big morning person, but now I used to be a night owl and now I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. So yeah. That's because I have to get up at 6 a.m. If I got up on my own, I'd be a morning person.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Pancakes or waffles? Waffles. I support that choice. You know why? Because you can make every bite.
It's like a little square and it holds everything just perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Waffles.
Yep. Waffles don't mess around. All right. Do you prefer for like books and movies? Actually, I should do a different one for you than this one. But I think I know the answer. Do you prefer horror or comedy?
Horror.
I knew that. I knew it. The original question was fantasy or drama?
Fantasy.
Yeah. And then I was like, Karin needs a horror question in there. Yes, all right. Your last one. Do you prefer to talk on the phone with people or text with people?
Talk.
Yeah.
I'm very old school. I have fat fingers and I hate, talk. I'd much rather just pick up the phone and take a 5-minute conversation instead of half an hour texting back and forth to somebody.
That is true. That does happen sometimes where it's like, this would have been much faster just talking about it.
Exactly. I'm still old school. My phone's like 5 years old, so you know.
All right, Karin, before I let you go, this is a question I did not prepare you for. What are you most looking forward to, like, diving into next with all of your Sisters Enchanted? Like, is there another part of Holistic Witchery, the astrology, like tarot? What are you most looking forward to digging into?
I think I am going to possibly do the tarot next.
Yeah,
I think so. I think it's time. I've put it off long enough. Nice. And I don't know why, because I used to enjoy it back in my 20s. And then 25 years later, I just don't like the mental block that I give myself that I don't need to. I know I can do it. I just
You
haven't
said it.
done it yet.
Everyone heard it here today. Karin said, I know I can do it.
I
Well,
can do it. I can
and
do
you
anything.
have,
I just have to want to do it. And I
yeah,
have times I don't want to do it.
I know.
At least
It's
I'm
going to be
honest.
good.
I'm
Yeah.
very honest with myself. I know what I'm capable of, what I want, what I don't want. Sometimes I don't know how to get it. Like, I just want to be happy. I just want laughter. And I can't get that right now. And that's my struggle. But you know my struggle with work right now. So
Yes.
yeah.
Tough times in the workplace. And though, again, I think that what's so remarkable is that even that's hard. And you continue to make strides at home and make the space for you and understand where where you've got to pull back to protect your own self. And it's been so great to see and just watch you over the last few years.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Karin. Well, I guess we will wrap it up there. Everybody, Karin is in our community groups. So if you're listening to this and you're in Holistic Witchery, Enchanted Journey, Karin's always joining us on the calls over there. So be sure to say hello to her when you see her.
Whether they want me to or not. No, they hold us accountable. It's great. That's what this community is so great for. I need someone to hold me accountable, and you guys do. Sarah's not afraid to go, Karin. You know what you're supposed to do right now. In the back of my head, I hear, what would Sarah say? So
I will say, and then we'll cut this off.
Okay.
But if you're a person if you participate in our community, like if you show up and participate, we remember, like we know, we don't lose. I don't know what's that. I don't know. There's a saying I'm trying to find. I don't know what it is. But anyway, we will remember if you participate. And if you're a person who just likes to lurk in the background and not act, that's cool too. We got a lot of people who do that. But if you are a person who wants to share and wants to post, whether it's on camera or in the groups or whatever, we notice and we will certainly reflect back to you what we hear you saying.
Yes, she will.
Yes.
They all will. They're all wonderful.
Yeah. I know. I'm the one who I think though probably applies a little more for a little more of the
But I need that. A little more tough love.
Yeah,
there's a good way. A little more tough love.
Yeah.
I know she loves me. Trying to help me. I'm just a blockhead.
No. All right, Karin, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thank you. This is fun.
Yeah. And anybody who's listening in, be sure to check out Holistic Witchery. You can join us in any of our programs. Just reach out, let us know. We'll get you the info. And until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.